Today, let's talk about something really interesting. The journey that happens in your brain when you disconnect from social media. And I mean really disconnect. It's about so much more than just getting a few hours back in your day. It's about, well, fundamentally rewiring how you think. So how does that even happen?
First off, let's start with a question I'm pretty sure you've asked yourself before. You post something, the likes start coming in, but that little thrill you used to get, it's just gone. Why does that digital pat on the back, which used to feel so good, start to feel so empty?
Well, there's a name for this feeling. It's often called the like treadmill. You know the one. It's that endless, exhausting chase for a digital reward that seems to give you less and less satisfaction each time, leaving you just scrolling and scrolling for a prize that never really shows up.
I mean, think about it. Remember when getting like 10 likes on a post felt incredible? It was a real rush of social approval. But then pretty soon you needed 50 and then 100 just to get that same little flicker of validation. The more you get, the more you need. It is a textbook case of diminishing returns.
So what is happening in our brains to cause this? It's not just you, I promise. It's a well-documented psychological phenomenon. And to really get it, we need to talk about a concept called hedonic adaptation.
This right here is the heart of the issue. Our brains have this kind of built-in reset button for happiness, and its technical name is hedonic adaptation.
Okay, so our brains are basically designed to adapt. That first little rush of likes feels new and exciting. But as those notifications become a part of our daily routine, our happiness baseline just recalibrates. That constant stream of validation becomes the new normal, which means we need an even bigger hit to feel that same original rush. And boom, just like that, you're right back on the treadmill. But what happens when you just step off the treadmill entirely? Well, that's where the real transformation starts. When you disconnect, you're not just logging off. You're taking back your single most valuable resource, your brain power. And the biggest benefit of doing this is that you free up something psychologists call your cognitive bandwidth. The easiest way to think about it is like the RAM in your computer. It's the mental energy you have for deep focus, for creativity, and for real critical thought.
Think of it like a daily budget for your attention, right? You only have so much you can spend each day. And social media, well, it's pretty much designed to be the ultimate impulse buy for your mind, draining that budget before you even realize what's happening.
And I'm sure all of this sounds painfully familiar. That constant little twitch to check your phone for notifications? Yep, that costs bandwidth. Agonizing over writing the perfect caption or a witty reply? That costs bandwidth too. And the mental energy you spend comparing your real life to someone else's perfectly curated feed or just trying to process that fire hose of information? It all just chips away at your mental capacity for the things that actually matter.
But here's the amazing part. The reverse is also true. When you reclaim that bandwidth, you suddenly have the mental space for deep, uninterrupted work, for picking up that guitar that's been gathering dust, for being totally present in a conversation without your phone buzzing in your pocket, or for finally getting around to learning that language. This isn't about having more time, it's about having more mind. Okay, so freeing up your brain power is incredible, but it actually leads to an even deeper, more profound psychological shift. This is the part where you stop looking outside from app and you start building your own inner compass. It's a complete flip in where you get your sense of self-worth from.
Building that inner compass is really all about shifting something called your locus of control. And this might be the single most important change in the whole process, because it really determines whether you feel like you're the author of your own life or just a character reacting to the plot. So the question becomes, are you in the driver's seat of your own life? See, social media trains us to just hand over the wheel. It conditions us to have an external locus of control, where our mood and our self-worth depend on a totally unpredictable algorithm and, let's be honest, the approval of strangers.
And the shift is it's huge. I mean, look at this. Before, your validation comes from likes and comments, which makes you reactive and dependent. But afterwards, that validation comes from your own personal satisfaction, from the progress you're making. You become proactive and intentional, and you feel confident in your own judgment. You just don't need 1,000 strangers to tell you that your work, or your thoughts, or your life has value. You already know it yourself. So, after you've escaped the treadmill and you've found your inner compass, you arrive at the final destination, a reclaimed mind. This is really the ultimate payoff for disconnecting with intention.
So this entire journey can really be broken down into 3 pretty clear steps. First,
You escape the treadmill by finally seeing hedonic adaptation for what it is. Second, you free up your cognitive bandwidth by unplugging. And finally, you learn to trust your inner compass by building an internal locus of control.
And this is what it's all about. This is the end result. It's a mind that isn't cluttered with all that digital noise, but is instead just filled with potential. It's a mind that has the quiet space you need for actual creativity, the focus required for deep thought, and the confidence to validate itself.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final, and I think pretty powerful question for you. If you had all of that extra focus, all that creativity, and all that self-confidence, what would you do with a reclaimed mind?